Food for thought. I like to, so you all know how I work. This is a very experienced group. But when you were inexperienced, a lot of you ask similar questions. And the questions about the exercises reflect an understanding that was either probably partially given to you by another coach or another class, or just being in gyms or just taking in information from the internet and hoping it'll work. But the problem with a lot of fitness communication is it pulls people away from their intuitive feeling about how they move and places it into, like, for example, if you're selling programs, it's the perfect program. You do this many reps of this many things, and then it's going to be great. And that'll fix your problems. And the problem is down at the rehabilitation end of things, 3 sets of 10 doesn't work. Even
No,
giving you a specific gated time under tension kind of doesn't. It's meant to push you towards a certain mindset, not because there's anything super magical about 30 to 90 seconds. Although there is some science to back up, like passing the 30-second window under a certain amount of tension, like a certain level of intensity, does hit different biochemical trigger signals. But you don't have to really know any of that. What you have to know if you're going to do rehabilitation is why you're doing it and what it's meant to serve. And that takes a different understanding of why you exercise and why things hurt and whether or not this is the right hurt, the wrong. So in the beginning, I get a lot of questions like that, which is completely understandable. Am I doing this right? How should this feel? Did I do it wrong? How many do I need to do? These things are actually, from my experience, these are like conditioned methods of avoidance. This is actually resistance to understanding. This is tell me what I have to do to fix the thing. And unfortunately, no one can tell you exactly what to do to fix the thing. And it certainly isn't going to be prescribed in some neat little number. Like, you just got to do 10 of that. That's never going to happen. That's not how rehabilitation works. That is how speed and power and weight loss and almost every other dimension of fitness works. You can boil all that stuff down to a number very neatly. But this stuff's a little bit different. You can't think about serving a number. So the concept I try to push on you guys that I'm encapsulating in a cute little phrase today is serve the shape. If I had to boil this down to a quick little philosophy, it's serve the shape. So I'll unpack what I think that means, but I want to give you a chance to tackle it first. What do you think I mean when I say I want you to serve the shape? And that is what's going to answer a lot of your questions about how you're going to heal. You can also pop ideas into the chat. Phrase is serve the shape. What is monkey do training? If you had to explain it to somebody, serve the shape.
um, I don't want to type. I keep thinking of serving like serving food. So I'm going to replace that word with feed. So, like, when I find the shape and my body doesn't like that shape, I want to feed that shape to my body. I want to feed whatever I need so I can achieve that
Oh,
shape.
yeah.
Mm,
Interesting.
I like that.
How do you market it to your body?
I need a serving of that.
Yeah. It's almost opposite to how we actually eat food. Like if your body, if you smelled something and you're kind of rejecting it a little bit, you would not eat it. But when you're feeding a shape to your body, the opposite is true. Let me move around and see what it's avoiding, what it doesn't want, what it's resistant to, and then give it a dose. Because it isn't food, it's medicine, right?
Right.
But the analogy still kind of works. The idea works. I like the idea of feeding my body shapes that it needs, like vitamins, maybe. You need this shape. I know you don't want it, but here it comes.
Yeah.
Great, Michael. And in that way, you are serving the shape. It's not about you. It is, but if you think about it that way, you're going to feel too many emotions and you're going to think in too many numbers. Get away from you for a second and think about the shape you're trying to produce, the literal shape. Is it shoulder abduction? Sorry, shoulder abduction? Is it circumduction? Do you need to know those words? Not really. Not if I can get you to think about making your yawns better. It's the same thing. Ooh, pop, pop. I'm serving the shape of yawn. That means thinking about yawn, not about me, not what I'm trying to accomplish, not what I've been through in the past, not what I hope to happen in the future. Although, if there is one productive thing, it's like, oh, what other shape is this shape serving? Why am I yawning? Why am I pushing into the sticky, nasty bits? Beyond the shape itself. First, I want to serve the shape and make it better, but then even as I'm doing it at my best, I'm thinking about the thing that it's actually for. Basic shoulder and rotator cuff, upper back health, sure, fine. But honestly, I would like to lâcher better. In parkour, there's a technique called lâcher where you grab a bar and you swing and then you throw it behind you and then grab the next thing or land on the next thing. It's a propulsive, arm-led type of locomotion called brachiation. That's to travel by swinging. There's your fancy word for the day. So I serve the shape of yawning to make it better just for its own sake. Just having a really good, really smooth, very powerful yawn is just generally good for your shoulders and your upper back and your posture and about 100 other things. But for me personally, I also want it to feed back into my lâcher release because I have torn my shoulder apart doing lâcher releases. But the stronger my yawns and my cactus and all my basic shapes that I serve, the better those get, the easier lâchers get. So I can do bigger, more impressive, more dynamic stuff in that shape. That's what
Spell
I
the
really
shape,
care about.
please.
That's what I really care about. I actually don't care about my shoulder health. I mean, I do. Okay, I do, but I care about lâcher releases more because that's what makes me happy.
How do you spell Lachey? Thank you.
Lâcher, but the E has an accent aigu.
Yep. Thank you.
All
So
right.
when you were relating
Oh,
that, I was thinking about
Check it out.
who dat?
that's your guy.
Oh, he's
I
just
recognize
enjoying you
him.
with the
You don't
cat.
recognize that guy, Marianne?
Who are you?
I'm looking at the back
Why
of his
don't you?
head.
Yeah, you're kind of looking at him now, ain't you? All right.
On
Anybody else got a thought on serving the shape?
Serving the shape.
What that means for you?
Yes, I wrote it.
Hmm.
I
See it.
noticed doing these exercises, I get my muscles in my leg back, and I look more athletic. So I serve the shape of the creation.
Beautiful. Yes. You're serving the actual design
Yeah,
of your created body. That is what exercise is supposed to be, guys. It's only supposed to make you better at moving, which means you have to be a little curious about movement, which means you have to understand the shapes you are meant to produce with each of these limbs and joint pieces. What do they actually do? If you can be bothered to think about that instead of how you look, how you feel, how many, it's actually not that complicated. Take a spine, for example. Flex, extend, tilt, rotate, circle, and done. 5 things. It's meant to do 5 things. If you do all 5 of those things well, your back doesn't hurt, first of all, but then you can reproduce tons of other shapes. You're incredibly agile and adaptable as a mover, if your spine can do all 5 of those things with power and control and range. And if they can't, better start working on it. Go to your movements of the trunk video. Serve the shape.
Kind
Yeah.
of good to have an image of how you'd like to move. Like one of the things I really like is watching swimmers come onto the Olympic Games. Not necessarily only the swimming, it's when they walk out. When
Yeah.
you see swimmers walk out to the pool and they look amazing because their shoulders are wide, they swivel at the wrist, at the waist. And when you have that image in your head, it helps you do it yourself a bit more. I mean, if you can keep an image of how you want to move, or long distance runners, as opposed to say sprinters, long distance runners have a sort of almost cheetah like way of moving. Or
And the best ones have an economy in their
yes,
movement.
Yeah.
yeah, and a flow to it. It's got a flow. It's not jerky or overly athletic. It's
It's efficient.
yeah.
And that, when you see that, you're looking at an incredibly honed shape. You're exactly right.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what an athlete really does. An athlete has a handful of functions that they're trying to optimize and then be able to
Yeah.
call on in the game, in the competition. And that is what
Mm.
it is all about. No athlete, I mean, some do, I'm sure, but most athletes do not care how they look, like aesthetics. The
Yeah.
aesthetics is a byproduct of the shape being served. If you've been serving the shapes you need for your sport, you'll look like you do that sport or look like you do that thing, if that even matters to you.
Mm.
If it does matter, it should be kind of a lower order thing, ideally.
Mm.
And that's where most fitness communication becomes worse than unhelpful. It becomes actively harmful for a lot of people, unfortunately.
Yeah.
The aesthetic based marketing, because it's like, that is not what bodies are for. And what good is looking good if you feel like shit? That's where a lot of that stuff leads you. You're not serving the shape, you're trying to be in shape for other people. That is almost the exact opposite mentality that you want to carry into something like this, especially. So that's why we push it on you. If you don't already have it, you kind of already have to have it a little bit. We're just trying to fan the flame. And that's why those visualizations are so important, Jan. There's no way in hell I ever would have done all the work that I've done on myself if it wasn't for the fact that jumping around on things and being with my friends as I do it is the most reliable source of like enjoyment and happiness in my life. And there's just something in me and always has been that I just want to do it. And I can't stop. So I think about it a lot and it drives all of my actions. Now, it's true, I wouldn't have had to do a lot of the work that I've done if I didn't jump off things so much, but hey,
Oh, well.
you know,
Yep.
I'd rather have something that drives me and makes me happy and occasionally
Yeah.
devastates me because it's so
Yeah.
damn hard to do and things can go wrong. You gotta take it all. Both sides of it is passion.
Yeah.
When I'm ecstatic when I'm doing it, and when I'm so depressed when I can't do it, that it drives me to do the work to get back to it. Both sides of it drive me to be better and sustain and survive. Everybody needs at least one hobby like that, I think. 2 if you're really lucky. All right. Cool. So that's serving the shape. That was food for thought. I have no time for individual questions. Please book a 20-minute. Happy to stay a little overtime.
We're good. There was lots to process there.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right then. Well, then thanks for coming to today's Chimp Chats. I'll see you tomorrow,
Thank
Jungle
you.
Joints.
See you tomorrow,
Stay safe
Shinobi,
out
and
there. Have fun.
everyone.
Happy healing.
Thank you.
0 out of 10 pain.